Now we'll try it today. Just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. Visit the website, visit the garden. You can have your affairs here, and well, don't have an affair, but you know what I mean. What are you laughing at? You know, have your functions and things here. It's a great place. All right, now to the roundtable. On my right, but always a political left, Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster and journalist, and the great educator, Dr. Don Martin, who of course is now Vice Chair of the Forsyth County Commissioners, Board of Commissioners, and we held over Griff Shuler from a previous segment where he was doing so much great stuff for the community. Thank you for being here on the roundtable, because Keith Grandperry had a accident just a few minutes ago, car accident, and he's okay though. So anyway, we appreciate Griff staying over. Guys, let's get to the first topic. Even though the Winston-Salem Dash baseball stadium is only 12 years old, Major League Baseball is demanding they make $5 million more in improvements, or else the city loses the team. To make matters worse, the upgrades will be paid through something called limited obligation bonds, which don't require a vote by residents. Here's a question. Shouldn't taxpayers have a say as to whether the city should spend that $5 million on renovating a ballpark? Ogie.
Well, the real question is, Major League Baseball has become an extortion ring, Jim, and it breaks my heart. Ever since they realigned the whole minor leagues, took baseball out of 40 cities, they're saying, you do it our way or we're going to take the team.
Right.
That's pure extortion. 12 years old, come on, that's a beautiful park.
Yeah, Don.
Well, I actually think the voters should have been asked at the beginning whether they wanted to commit to the stadium. But at this point, if Major League Baseball pulls out, you basically are left with this stadium and no revenue, no anything, and a big investment. I think you got to fix it up. And I think it's 12 years. We were, kind of since that first pitch was out, I think probably there's a little renovation.
Griff, what do you think?
I agree with both of them because, number one, I think you have to do it. You're in a bind. You got to go ahead and do it. But number two, Major League Baseball is making a lot of money. Why are they not helping in defraying the expense? As I understand it, one of the expenses is raising one of the fences, the height of the fence.
Well, MLB says they'll pay for part of the new administrative offices, but the rest of it we have to do. Okay. According to the Pentagon, we now know that it will cost taxpayers $21 million to change the names of military bases whose namesakes had been linked to slavery. Are you guys okay with that? Or could the money be better spent on funding diversity initiatives in and around the bases? Ogie.
Well, there are, in the scheme of things, that sounds like a lot of money, but $21 million isn't among the U.S. taxpayer. That might be a couple of pennies, so I'm okay with it.
Done.
I probably usually think about being in the future, and I actually think the training would really be important. But on the other hand, sends a pretty powerful message, I think, to the Afro-American community to go ahead and make the change.
Change the signs or spend the money elsewhere?
Well, it's number one, it's going to be spread over a number of different bases. So the $21 million is a little deceptive, but sometimes you just got to do the right thing, and this is the right thing to do it. And so the expense is something that you just have to deal with.
Good point. Now, the 5-year-old daughter of a gay couple has been denied admission to a private religious academy in Louisiana who says the gay marriage doesn't adhere to their teachings at the school. As cruel as this is to the little girl, do you guys defend the right of a private religious school to deny admission for any reason? Ogie, where do you stand?
I'm not going to defend those people for 1 second. If they want to pay taxes, yeah, let them go ahead but they're making up their own rules, and that's just tragic. The little girl, because she has a gay parent, that just makes me sick.
Don.
I actually disagree with Ogie. I think that basically you're not accepting any state or federal money and do what you want to do.
Even if we don't like it?
Right.
All right, Griff.
This is a very complicated and nuanced question. I wish we had a long time to go into it. But from a legal standpoint, the private school cannot discriminate against race, color, things like that. Sexual orientation has not been something Congress has extended those protections to. So whether we like it or not, they are allowed to do that under present law.
And once if we can get those extensions, those protections extended, then these people would be in hot water, right? Okay, the state of New York has amended several laws to replace the word inmate with the word incarcerated person. State officials say the word inmate is offensive, while the term incarcerated person promotes rehabilitation. Guys, is this hogwash or is it progressive? And should North Carolina follow New York's example? Ogie.
You remember when BJ was on here, he used to, every other week that's political correctness run amok.
Right.
Well, and that's just giving the right-wingers ammo to say we're woke, and it's just not necessary.
You don't like it. All right, Don, what do you
The hogwash and no.
think? Griff, hogwash or progressive?
Much ado about nothing.
All right. The federal government has agreed to spend $177 million to convert the Greensboro Hebrew Academy into a center for unaccompanied migrant children. Meanwhile, we now know that the school received $1.5 million in paycheck protection loans after it had closed and had no employees. Guys, should the academy repay the COVID loan money immediately, Ogie?
Yeah, I'm glad they got that's going to become a wonderful thing. But yes, they should pay it right now.
Yes or no, Don?
Yes, they should pay it back.
Griff?
Maybe. It depends on whether or not they were entitled to get it in the first place.
All right. And finally, you're being careful about these things, aren't you? Yeah, Griff is running for governor. He's being very diplomatic. All right. Finally, according to leading psychiatrists, winning a mega million jackpot could make you miserable in the long run. Guys, would you be miserable if you won the mega million jackpot? Ogie?
Well, like the old saying goes, I've been poor and happy. I'd like to give it a shot being rich. I'll take the chance.
Don Martin, would you be miserable if you won that?
I'd be willing to give it a try.
Would you? Griff, what about you?
I don't think I'd be miserable because I'd give it all to you.
Well, there you go. That's thank you.
So you could be miserable.
Yeah, and just a programming note: Griff will be taking the place of these guys forever. He'll be here permanently. Well, that's all the time. That's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Last week, this is weird. An 88-year-old woman said she was going to take off all her clothes on national television. These young people have no morals," said Bernie Sanders. So you get that? See, Bernie's older than. Well, anyway, we're all going to Griff's house for some reason. All right, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next.